Hey everybody, this is Captain Garden, and welcome back to another episode of My Opinions On. This is the series where I talk about my own opinions on certain things, and today's episode is about Pokemon. This is my opinion of the series, and if it's different than yours, then just say what your opinions are in the comment section. But before I start talking about my opinions of the series, let's talk about what Pokemon actually is. Pokemon is a series created in 1996 by Nintendo. The first thing we ever saw about Pokemon was the games Pokemon Red and Green, which were released as Pokemon Red and Blue outside Japan. The games and the sequels in the main series, plus some spin-offs, are turn-based RPGs. You have creatures in the wild called Pocket Monsters, or Pokemon for short, and you can use up to 6 of them in your party to battle your way to the top. However, instead of acquiring Pokemon through story-related events, or just any other event, you can find them just about everywhere. You can catch them with an item called a Pokeball. A very creative name, I just need to mention that. But anyways, you can catch the Pokemon, you can nickname it, you can battle with it to level it up, you can teach it up to 4 moves by using TMs, Sagems, leveling up, etc. But wait, there's more! Many Pokemon can evolve, which means it can grow into a more powerful form with better stats and new moves. However, not every kind of Pokemon can evolve or has a pre-evolution. For example, even though Charmander can evolve into Charmeleon and later on Charizard, Pokemon like Kangaskhan or Smeargle does not evolve from someone or into someone. But despite evolutions, most Pokemon do have their uses. You just have to use a little bit of tactic, because that's how we're probably going to win every battle, be it competitive or in-game, unless you aim for the horn.
Pikachu the horn!
But in terms of moves, you have physical moves, you have special moves, you have moves which inflict status conditions, you have buff moves for yourself or debuff moves for your opponent, you have regenerative moves, and this goes on and on. But one thing to always remember is to use moves which goes hand in hand with your stats and abilities, since it can determine the outcome of a battle. But I think that's way too long of a summary on the basis of the game, so let's talk about my own experiences of the franchise. The first Pokemon game that I ever played was Pokemon Silver, which belongs to the second generation of Pokemon. I couldn't do much besides defeating the Elite Four and Mr. Mountain guy who could have a name based on a color. Okay, maybe, yay. This was my brother's game, a game where I had a buffed up for gear, but that didn't stop my friend from replacing Lugia's Airblast with Warfall because he didn't know how to traverse between Kanto and Johto. No sir, it did not. But a few years went by, and my brother's friend had his Game Boy Advance SP on sale. I went about it along with Pokemon Leaf Green and Harry Potter the Goblet of Fire, and it wasn't a garbage game. I did like the game, and I don't dislike it that much in today's world. But to say it seems unnecessary would be a big understatement. But I'm getting sidetracked, so let's talk even more Pokemon! I played the game from beginning to end, I got a decent team, and I had learned a little bit about the move usage and the item usage. But I really didn't go deep into the series. Then one day I decided I would buy a DS and a Pokemon game. And that game was Pokemon Platinum. Platinum, along with Diamond and Pearl, make up the Gen 4 trilogy. And this is my favorite generation of Pokemon. Gameplay was to some degree altered, and that had to do with the physical moves and the special moves, no longer type-based. This could make people use Pokemon which once were not that useful due to this. And the music. To me, the Aura soundtrack and the SM soundtrack, to some extent, are more pleasing to me, but the DPPT soundtrack, or the Diamond Pearl and Platinum soundtrack, is still really good, with it hosting my favorite champion theme, which is of course the Cynthia Bell theme. And I can't think of something else to say about it being my favorite generation of Pokemon. Yeah, it just is. And since there's nothing left to talk about on this topic, let's talk about my own opinions on the whole series instead of experiences. Even though I talked a little bit about opinions in this talk. Well, actually, quite a bit, so... Opinions! As I said before, the main games are turn-based RPGs, and every Pokemon has its advantages and weaknesses, both type-based and stat-based. This creates a balanced game mechanic where memorization is mostly required. Unless you play Sun and Moon, but the point is that you should not only remember the typing, but also the average stats of each Pokemon. However, many Pokemon can just be viewed to tell its stats. For example, a Finn Pokemon may show that its defense and or special defense is worse than its attack, special attack, and or speed. This may not extend to every Pokemon out there, but it does to some, and that's a viable way to know how to take your opponent down. With those things in place, a balanced game mechanic is created, and I have taken things like IVs and abilities into the equation. I have talked about the soundtrack earlier, so I won't talk about it further here. Towns and cities are interesting, and it goes for landmarks too. You have your average city and town, maybe even from a cave, forest, or tower every once in a while. But occasionally you see a place you didn't think you would see, at least when you think about the real-life version of the region you are in. For example, Medi City in Sun and Moon stand out to me because it's clearly Johto-based with its architecture. Places like these are more memorable for this reason, at least to me. Other people could have other reasons, but this video is about me and my opinions of Pokemon, so wobble into the corners of it. But that's everything I have to say about the main games. They have good and balanced mechanic, locations are interesting, their music fits, and isn't something you see quite often in RPG, and designs isn't something I will delve into, but still doing something. But anyways, if someone wants to know about my opinions of the Pokemon anime, I'll just say it has gone from an okay kid show to a nightmare's torture session with faces that will make my brain explode by a quick look. But that's just about everything. Please make sure to like this video, and if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you want. It really helps the channel. It really helps. I mean, guys. And I have way too much time on my hands, so I'm doing this for a small audience. If I'm doing it, I wouldn't be half bad. But with everything said, I'm going to say even more stuff. I think I'll approach Pokemon Go territory next time. But with everything said and all that, I'm going to say that my name is Captain Khan and that I'm signing off. This is Captain Khan, signing off. Peace and everything. The games and the sequels in the main series, plus some spin-offs, are turnburst. However, instead of acquiring Pokemon through store, which means it grow into a more powerful form with various genius. You have creatures in the wild called pocket monsters, or Pokemon for short. You can use up to 6 of them in your You can use up to 6 of them in your battle. And then I bought it along with Pokemon Leaf Green and Harry Potter the Goblet of Fire. Which wasn't a garbage game. I did like the game, and I won't dislike it. I didn't. This creates a balanced game mechanic where